You ever watch Prime Mike Tyson and just sit there, wondering, why doesn't anyone fight like this anymore? I mean, really think about it. We've seen knockout artists since Tyson. We've seen pressure fighters. We've seen power, guys with aggression that could fill an entire arena. But this terrifying, hypnotic, almost inhuman movement, nobody does this anymore. Nobody even tries. The Peekaboo style was supposed to change boxing forever. It turned a 5'10" kid from the worst neighborhood in Brooklyn into a human wrecking ball, an unstoppable force of nature, the most feared heavyweight who ever lived. And then after Tyson, it just vanished, exposed, disappeared, like it was never invented. No elite heavyweight has successfully used it since, not one in over 30 years. So what happened? Was it too risky, too physically demanding, too complicated to teach? Or was Mike Tyson simply the only fighter on earth who could ever make it work? By the end of this video, you'll know the answer. And trust me, it's not what you're expecting. Let's go back to where it all started. You can't understand why the Peekaboo died until you understand the obsessed genius who spent his entire life creating it, Cus D'Amato. Now, calling this man a boxing trainer is like calling Einstein a math teacher. It doesn't come close to the truth. Cus was a mad scientist who used fighters as his experiments. He slept in his gym. He watched the same fights hundreds of times. He was consumed by one question that nobody else was asking. How do you take a small man and turn him into a giant killer? Think about boxing for a second. Longer arms mean you can hit without being hit. More height means better angles, better leverage, better everything. This is physics. This is reality. This is why weight classes exist in the first place. But Cus looked at these laws and said, no, I refuse to accept this. He studied traditional boxing stances for years, and he noticed something that changed everything. These stances were designed by tall fighters, for tall fighters. If you're short, you're reaching for punches you can't land, walking into jabs you can't avoid, playing someone else's game by someone else's rules. So Cus asked himself, what if I create an entirely new game? What if, instead of standing tall like everyone else, you crouch down like a predator about to strike? What if, instead of trying to reach your opponent, you explode into a space before he can react? What if, instead of blocking punches, you just make sure you're not there when they land? He spent years developing this system, testing it, perfecting it. He called it Peekaboo, because your eyes peek over your gloves like you're playing hide and seek. But this was no game. This was a system built for destruction. He tested it on Floyd Patterson in 1956, and Patterson shocked the entire sport by becoming the youngest heavyweight champion in history at just 21 years old. Think about that. Barely 190 pounds. Small for a heavyweight. Everyone counted him out, and he became champion of the world. But here's the thing. Cus watched Patterson win that belt and felt nothing. Because Patterson wasn't the one. Patterson was a prototype, proof that the system could work. But Cus knew, somewhere out there, was a fighter who could take the Peekaboo from effective to absolutely invincible. He searched for over 20 years. He was 70 years old and running out of time when he finally found him. And the kid, 13 years old, couldn't read or write, had been arrested 38 times. 1979, a juvenile detention center in upstate New York. A former boxer working there noticed something disturbing about one of the inmates. This kid didn't move like a normal human, didn't hit like a normal human. There was something savage and unnatural about his violence. He made one phone call that changed boxing forever. He called Cus D'Amato. When Cus watched this 13-year-old throw punches, he saw something nobody else could see. He said 7 words that would become legendary. If he wants it, he'll be champion. Mike Tyson was 13 years old, and what Cus saw in him was unprecedented. Tyson's hands were massive heavyweight hands, dense, built for damage, but they moved like welterweight hands, fast, whipping, almost invisible. This breaks the laws of biology. Bigger muscles should move slower, but Tyson's fast twitch muscle fibers were something scientists couldn't explain. His jab was twice as fast as any heavyweight alive, with more power than theirs too. His knockout power? This wasn't just hurt you power. This was lights out power, shut your brain off power, end your career power. Watch Tyson's knockouts. His opponents don't stumble. They don't wobble. They collapse, instantly, like someone pulled the plug. Their brains just stop. His neck was thick as a tree trunk from 4 hours of training every day. His center of gravity was unnaturally low. His ability to close distance was like nothing the heavyweight division had ever witnessed. But here's the piece everyone misses, the piece that truly made Tyson unrepeatable. His demons. Mike Tyson didn't have a childhood. He had a survival story. Brownsville, Brooklyn, one of the most violent places in America. His mother was a prostitute. His father was a ghost. Older kids beat him daily, stole his clothes, mocked his lisp, took his dignity over and over again. By age 13, Tyson had built up so much rage inside him that most people would have broken completely. And Cus D'Amato looked at that rage and saw a weapon. He didn't try to fix the anger. He didn't try to calm the fury. He didn't heal the trauma. He pointed it at the boxing ring and said, "Unleash it there." He told young Mike, "Your pain makes you powerful. Your rage makes you dangerous. Your darkness is a gift. Step through those ropes and become the monster the world forced you to become." That cannot be coached. You can't manufacture that kind of darkness in a training camp. You either carry it inside you or you don't. Cus became Tyson's legal guardian. Every single day was dedicated to perfecting the Peekaboo system, drilling it into his bones, his blood, his instincts. By the time Tyson turned pro in 1985, he had become the most dangerous fighter anyone had ever seen. Now let me show you exactly how the Peekaboo worked. The stance. Both hands held high, gloves pressed against the cheekbones, elbows locked to the rib cage, chin buried in the chest. You become a walking fortress. Almost nothing can touch you clean. But the genius is this. You can still see everything. Your opponent sees gloves. You see every twitch, every tell, every moment of fear in their eyes. The movement. Tyson's head never stayed in one place for more than half a second. Bobbing, weaving, slipping, rolling. Constant, unpredictable motion. But here's what made it deadly. Every defensive move was loading an offensive weapon at the same time. Slip left, your right hand is coiling. Duck under, your legs are compressing for an uppercut. Defense and offense happening simultaneously. While your punch is missing, his punch is already landing. The footwork. Tyson didn't bounce around like other heavyweights. He used something Cus called shifting, a subtle, deadly transfer of weight that let him throw devastating hooks from any position, any angle, any stance. The angles. This is what really broke people. Normal boxers fight directly in front of you, straight lines, predictable. Tyson was never directly in front of you. He attacked from angles you couldn't see, threw punches from positions that shouldn't exist. His signature destruction? Right hook to the body from your complete blind spot. You never see it coming. Just feel the explosion in your ribs. Your hands drop instinctively to protect yourself. And the uppercut comes from below, from underneath your field of vision. By the time you know what's happening, you're already unconscious. Combine all of this together and imagine facing him. Your jab can't find him. Your combinations hit nothing but air. You can't set your feet because he's forcing you to move. You can't think because you're being hunted. And you look in his eyes, and you see nothing human, just controlled violence waiting to explode. That's why opponents were beaten before the first punch landed. Cus believed fighting was 75% psychological, and he designed everything about Tyson to terrify opponents before the bell ever rang. The black trunks, no socks, no robe, just raw, intimidating presence. The lisp, combined with promises of violence. The way he stared at you during instructions like you were already dead. This wasn't accidental. Every piece was calculated, but tragedy was coming. November 1985, Cus D'Amato dies from pneumonia, 77 years old. Tyson had been professional for only 4 months. The master left the student unfinished. For a while, Tyson still had the foundation. Kevin Rooney stepped in as trainer. The Peekaboo stayed intact. 1986, youngest heavyweight champion in history, 20 years old. 1987, unified champion, undisputed, invincible. 1988, 91 seconds to destroy Michael Spinks. The world believed no one could beat him. but the cracks were forming. Don King entered the picture. Money replaced mastery. The team Cus built started to crumble. 1988, Tyson fires Kevin Rooney, the last true peekaboo master. Watch the footage side by side. Tyson in 88 versus Tyson in 90. The head movement becomes inconsistent. The stance gets more upright. The flowing combinations disappear, replaced by loading up for single power shots. The peekaboo was dying. February 1990, Tokyo. Buster Douglas, 42-1 underdog, knocks out Mike Tyson. The world froze. But if you understand what happened to the peekaboo, that loss was inevitable. Then came prison. 3 years. His prime wasted behind bars. When Tyson returned, he was still dangerous. But the system was gone. The losses to Holyfield, the ear bite, the destruction by Lennox Lewis. The peekaboo that once made him invincible had disappeared forever. So why couldn't anyone bring it back? First, the conditioning required was insane. Constant movement, staying low, explosive attacks for 12 rounds. Most heavyweights don't have the gas tank. They don't have the reflexes. They rely on size, not motion. Second, boxing evolved. The modern heavyweight division is dominated by giants. 6'4", 6'6", 80-inch reaches. The Eastern European school of boxing created upright, technical fighters who control distance with the jab. To use peekaboo against them, you'd have to work twice as hard just to get inside. And one mistake means eating a massive shot. Third, the trainers are gone. After Cus died, after Teddy Atlas left, after Rooney was fired, the detailed knowledge of the system scattered. Today's trainers learn from old tapes, from articles, from documentaries. That's like learning surgery from YouTube. You get the concept, but the details that make it work at the highest level? Gone. But here's the biggest reason. Mike Tyson was one of a kind, the perfect blend of speed, power, explosiveness, aggression, and darkness. His height was perfect for peekaboo. His footwork was unmatched. His killer instinct was genuine. Even if someone learned the system perfectly, they could never replicate what Tyson brought to it. You can see fragments of peekaboo in fighters today. David Tua used the high guard and head movement. Timothy Bradley borrowed elements at welterweight. Canelo Alvarez mastered the shifting technique that Cus invented. But the complete system, the pure, devastating peekaboo, that exists only in old footage now. The story of the peekaboo is really the story of two men. A genius trainer who spent his whole life creating the perfect fighting system, and the damaged prodigy who was the only one who could ever make it work. For a brief moment in the late 1980s, they solved the puzzle of heavyweight boxing. Then Cus died, and the answer died with him. Will we ever see another pure peekaboo champion? The sport has changed. The athletes have changed. The perfect storm that created Tyson may never be replicated. But that doesn't diminish what they accomplished. They created something that will live forever in boxing history. A style so devastating, so terrifying, so perfect, that it still haunts the sport 3 decades later. Every time you watch a fighter slip a punch and counter, that's Cus D'Amato's ghost. Every time you see someone bob and weave through a combination, that's the peekaboo refusing to die. And every time someone watches Mike Tyson in his prime and says, "Why doesn't anyone fight like that anymore?" Now you know the answer. Because there was only one Mike Tyson, and there will never be another. Now I need to hear from you. Was the peekaboo truly unteachable? Could anyone ever master it again? Or was Tyson the only man who could make this style work? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And if this video taught you something new about the most feared fighter in history, we need your help. We're a small channel grinding hard to reach 1,000 subscribers. We don't do clickbait. We bring you the real stories, the brutal truths, the secrets other channels are afraid to tell. Hit that subscribe button right now. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it means the world to us. Share this video with someone who loves boxing. Smash that like button. Turn on notifications so you never miss another upload. We're building something real here, and we want you to be part of it. Want to see the brutal training regimen that built Mike Tyson into a monster? Click right here. Want to discover the untold story behind Muhammad Ali's greatest rivalry? Click right here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.